You know what's a really good test of just how important somebody is to you? If that person woke up one day and just decided to never talk to you again, would it like ruin your week? If the answer is no, y'all probably weren't even really that tight.
Derapy, Season 3 of Derapy.
This episode of Derapy is brought to you by Dubby Energy. So I just lost another friend. Well, I didn't actually lose the friend. I made the conscious decision to not try and be their friend anymore because I guess I was trying too hard. Some would say, "Oh, Derek, you've made you've made 2 sessions of Derapy talking about not being friends with somebody anymore. What's the common denominator, buddy? Maybe you're the problem." Nuh-uh. Here's the short of it, okay? And this is going to be an entire session. I have a lot of catching up to do, and I don't want to spend a lot of time I don't want to throw a bunch of stuff into one episode just for the halibut. What? It's a terrible joke. I don't even know why. Why does anybody listen to this?
Nobody even does.
I'm so happy, okay? First of all, I'm sober, which is insane, because in college, I was drinking every week, and then after college, I was drinking every week, and then a couple weeks ago, I just decided I was going to stop, and boy, oh boy, quitting alcohol cold turkey after drinking every single week for over half a decade, believe it or not, there's some consequences to that, but in case you can't tell, I'm over it. I'm good. Like, everything's fine. Oh, yeah, the friend thing. So last year in 2023, there was this friend of mine, and I mean, I thought we were really good friends. They came to my wedding. And if you've been listening to the show for a while, you understand that coming to my wedding was not a small thing. There were a lot of people that didn't come, and I didn't want to come. But this is one of those people, okay? So I'm just under the impression that we're pretty good friends. And I tried to hang out with them 4 or 5 times in 2023, and every single time, something came up and we couldn't hang out. Now, some would say, you know, I'm sure they had a valid excuse. And honestly, if I'm being completely fair to this person, they kind of did, I guess, based on my voice. You know, I'm gonna be honest.
There's no reason to lie.
You can have valid reasons to not do something, and it can still upset someone, especially if they make plans to see you or hang out with you, and then those things fall through for whatever reason. It's disappointing. And it's not like we hung out twice and then 3 times we didn't, and then 2 times we did, or like we hung out once and then they like couldn't hang out 4 times, and we hung out 2 or 3 times. 5 consecutive times we were supposed to hang out, and then we just didn't. Now, fortunately for this person and our friendship, I'm married. Like, I have a best friend that I live with, and I have other friends. This person wasn't my only friend, but it's an impossible thing to not notice. So I believe it was the 5th time where something like this happened. I don't want to say confronted them, but I addressed it. I was like, hey, this is getting kind of weird. I'm starting to feel like maybe you just don't want to hang out with me. Let me ask you this, valued Derapy listener. If you try to hang out with somebody 5 consecutive times, and 5 consecutive times you didn't hang out, and all 5 times was because of them and not you, what's the logical conclusion you would come to? Maybe this person just doesn't like me that much and they don't know how to tell me. So I just asked them that. And they got really angry with me, as if...
How dare you be friends?
As if I was being unfair by wanting to see them
once or twice a year
throughout a calendar year. Okay, so whatever, we talk it out. I apologize, even though I don't feel like I need to. This person is a very busy person. They have a lot of things going on in their life. This is a very busy person we're talking about. They just started their dream job, their dream career, and I did that too. And I was extremely busy when I started to do that. But I would feel so terrible canceling on the same person or creating plans with somebody and then not going through with them 5 consecutive times that I would do everything in my power to see that person. I would go out of my way. Like, I would probably send them, I'd shower them with gifts, but I'm just a different type of person. I wasn't expecting that person to do this. I was just expecting them to see me eventually, and especially was not expecting them to get really upset with me for being upset about the fact that they didn't hang out with me 5 times in a row. And here's the thing, because I'm married, when I make plans with somebody, those are plans that I in turn cannot make with my wife unless this person happens to be mutual friends. And this person was But if you plan to have somebody come over to your home, what are you going to do before they get there? You want to make sure that your place looks presentable. Now, our place generally looks presentable, but if you're like me or like my wife, you want to like go out of your way to make sure that your place is presentable when you have people over. We did this like 2 or 3 times and this person never showed up. So you can imagine how odd that is. And this person happens to be a woman. And eventually it gets to a point where, I don't have to say this. And my wife doesn't have to tell me this for me to know that it's weird that like I keep trying to hang out with this woman and she just keeps not hanging out with me. So I kind of told this woman this. I was like, hey, it's starting to make things kind of weird for like from a person that's in a relationship perspective. And she basically replied to that by saying she's like not responsible for my marriage being good, which is just so not what I was saying. And one of my pet peeves is when people have intellectually dishonest arguments. Like when you say something very specific and they just twist it to as if you were saying something that you absolutely weren't. I was not blaming this person for my failing marriage, which it is just not, by the way. I was just saying that when I make plans with you, or my wife and I make plans with you, and then you don't go through with the plans, it's not just, it's one thing for me. I'm like, whatever, I'll just hang out with somebody else. But like, that's, it's my wife. I just so happen to have more friends than my wife. So we kind of look forward to spending time with other people. And, it was 5 times in a row. So after that, after me addressing that and her getting really angry with me, I then decided, I was like, you know what? I'll peel back, dog. If you're a very busy person, you have a lot of stuff going on, I don't have to hang out with you. It's not that big of a deal. I have a ton of other friends to hang out with. Like a ton. Like so many. And I was like, you know what? I have great love for this person, but I can love from afar. So I know that what this person does for work. So I would just randomly text them, not any more than any other person. Like, yo, have a good day at work. I'm on TikTok. That's an app that's still online for the time being. And if I saw something that reminded me of them, I would send it to them. But I wouldn't just send it to them. I would send it to a bunch of different people. So I just want to make it super clear that I am not like bothering this person any more than I am anybody else. But at some point, this person decides to inform me, they address a concern that they have, which is fair and they have the right to do. But they say that my messaging is making them really uncomfortable, which is shocking and kind of icky to me because I don't know what exactly that insinuates. Like, do you think I'm flirting with you because I sent you like a video of somebody falling on TikTok or I told you to have a good day at work? Like, I don't know. I just think I'm like being a courteous friend. I think it takes like 5 to 12 seconds to send like a nice text to somebody if you're just thinking about them. And I do that all the time. If you ask my friend Kenzie, or if you ask my brother Damon or my wife, I'll text my sister randomly. I'm in a group chat with some people that I used to work with that I'll just text and be like, what's up, dudes? Have a good day. Like, it's a very normal thing that I'm doing. But this person is the same person that I tried to hang out with 5 consecutive times over the course of a calendar year, and it didn't work out. And now they're telling me that me even just sending them the occasional message or TikTok is making them like unsettled. And at this point, I'm just like, oh, you just like don't really like me that much. And I guess you don't know how to say it. Because they also told me that they were like very busy and they were prioritizing like other things. But because, we're friends on, social media stuff, like I see them doing things that involve them like being places that are not doing the thing they were prioritizing. I don't know. It's a whole thing. The point is we're not friends anymore because friendships are supposed to be like really easy. I was talking to Sharif a week or 2 ago, and we were talking about how we never really ask each other of anything. Like we don't ask much of each other at all. My friend Matt, I probably see him like 2 or 3 times a year, and we just pick up right where we left off. I think this person thought that my standard for friendship was a lot higher than it actually was, but I don't think it's worth going back and forth with people about stuff like that, especially if they think that you just like messaging them like 2 or 3 times a week is like makes them really uncomfortable. So I was like, you being uncomfortable is, it's valid to you, so that's fine. But you being uncomfortable is making me uncomfortable, and I have a bunch of friends and I really don't need them anymore. And I'm not gonna lie, like for the first week or 2, I was like, that kind of sucks. This person I'd known for a really long time, they came to my wedding. I thought we were tight, but I guess I was wrong because a weird thing happens if you stop texting or getting in contact with somebody first all the time, then you realize that you just stop communicating entirely. I never told this person that I didn't want to be friends with them anymore. I just like stopped sending the courteous text messages that I send to everybody because it was bothering them so much. And I just haven't heard from them in like a month or two. So like, I guess I was right. I guess they never really liked me that much, and whatever. I don't really know what I did, but it doesn't matter. I just think this is like a really funny thing that happened to me. It's a really funny situation, and I'm just thinking more about my future and the fact that my child or children in the future might listen to these. And I just want you to know that it is not your fault. Sometimes you don't do anything but be nice, and people just don't like you. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. I was talking with Garrett in a previous session. The finale of that session's coming out in the next couple days. If editor Derek has had a long enough break to get his stuff together.
Get it off me!
And Garrett and I were talking about Taylor Swift, and there was this girl that I followed on Twitter that was like a big Taylor Swift fan, and I met her while I was fundraising, and we followed each other at one point, and then one day she just unfollowed me. And one day, like, I asked her to be on a podcast, and she just decided, no, I don't want to be on the podcast, and I actually don't really want anything to do with you. I never did anything to her. We never had any communication after I met her in the street. She just, something about my tweets just made her be like, this guy is a menace, and I want nothing to do with him. So sometimes stuff like that just happens, and it is what it is. I'm back doing Derapy. I'm going to try and upload every single day. I know that sounds crazy, and you guys don't even really care about like the expectations that I'm setting for myself in regards to this podcast, but I'm already here, and I'm already yapping, and I'm feeling great. If you like what I do, if you like the show, if you're listening to this on YouTube, please leave a like. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, please leave a 5-star rating. Leave whatever critique review you want. I actually don't care, but 5 stars would be awesome because it's impossible for podcasts to get discovered in the algorithm if they aren't highly rated. Love you. Mean it. New episode tomorrow. We're back, baby.
You Jose, I've been killing shit like OJ, canceling school when I go iced out, it's a snow day, okay, we going up, when they see the check I'm getting, they be throwing up, bitch type Q and I'm motherfucking Google, and I really be the first thing that be showing up, I've been like, thank you, next, I hit that bitch with a thank you text, who been on this shit, better take your guess, when I'm out in Palo Alto, Lady Grateful Dead, call me Kodak, I'm a suburban dude, they call you what, we never heard of you, no,
I tell her thank you next. Color quad, they can shoot baby text. Ride with the chopper, I hit with the blade. All of my shows look like a parade. What? Yeah. Why they goofy, they be talking that shit. 100 bands, got it all on my hip. I fuck on that bitch in the back of the wheel. Yeah, hey. Oprah all on my dick, but you knew that. Feel like Shep West, like how that boy do that. 20 racks to the strip club, I just do that, huh? What? Hit for 20 in Japan. Shorty, she knew I'm the man. Running the guap and I got the advance.
Got the advance is fucking Nick Cash, you can. And your grandma just brought my tape for her grandkids. Always thinking, what would Jesus do?